Hi, Nate. I'm your nurse, Andrea, today, and I saw you have a history of heart disease in your chart and just wanted to talk with you a little bit more about that. Is that okay?
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay, so I just have a couple questions about your lifestyle and habits. Can you tell me what a normal day for you looks like?
I usually wake up a little early, make some coffee. Most of the time, make breakfast if I have time. Then I have an hour commute to work where I'm a purchaser at a manufacturing facility. Usually go out to lunch, order a salad, or pack lunch and have a salad. After work, I come home, make dinner, or throw in a pizza, depending on how much time I have. And my wife and I usually have a glass of wine with dinner and watch our favorite TV show and then go to bed.
Okay, so you spend most of your time at work and then hanging out with your wife when you get home. Um, can you tell me what your wife does for work?
My wife is an accountant but is thinking about changing jobs to spend more time with our family.
Okay, so your wife works as an accountant. That's nice. How do you spend your free time usually, either together or alone?
We usually take the dogs for a walk on the weekends, go to the park, then come home and read on the porch. We also have two children nearby. We each have two children of their own, so we spend a lot of time with the grandkids.
That's nice. You have children and grandchildren and are able to spend some quality time with them. And going on walks is great. Would you say that you have a good relationship with your children?
Yes, we are very close and spend quite a bit of time with everybody.
That sounds like you have a really great support system. So I noticed that you have some high levels of what is considered bad cholesterol and C-reactive protein in your lab results. And this kind of indicates that your disease is progressing and leaves you at a higher risk for heart attacks and stroke. Have you talked with your doctor about this at all?
I believe they've mentioned something before at a checkup, but I know a lot of people that have heart disease and have not noticed any symptoms, so I guess I have not thought much about it.
Okay, I understand. If you haven't felt any symptoms, you might not think to bring it up. Based on your daily routine and your test results, this can indicate that you could start seeing some symptoms or having difficulty with your health. Has anyone in your family or your friends expressed any concern about your health?
My daughter has expressed some concern, especially considering I sit so often at my job. I have trouble keeping up with my grandchildren and need to sit down when with them. My daughter has told me that my wife and I should take more walks with the dogs, but I don't have time for that with my long commute to work.
Okay, so it sounds like your daughter's been a little concerned, um, but because you commute and you have not a lot of time during your day, um, it's hard to add in more physical activity. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, I do feel like I am more tired with my grandchildren than usual and feel a little bit more fatigued lately. I also do eat out often, which I know is not healthy, but it is much easier than waking up early to pack a lunch.
Have you thought about with your increased fatigue when playing with your grandchildren and in general about possibly changing any of the elements in your lifestyle?
I have thought about eating healthier and possibly joining a walking group, but I just don't know how to fit it into my schedule.
It sounds like you have really good intentions to increase your physical activity. From what you've told me, it sounds like you eat a lot and you start your day with breakfast, which is great. With your job, it also sounds like you spend a lot of time sitting during the day, which can contribute to the fatigue that you feel when you play with your grandchildren. Does that sound accurate?
Yeah.
So generally, we aim for patients, especially with underlying conditions of heart disease, to get about 30 minutes of physical activity throughout the day and try to decrease the amount of time that they spend sitting, especially when eating out often, depending on what you order, which it seems like you order a healthy menu options like salads. But sticking to a low-fat diet will help you feel better and maintain a healthier cholesterol level, which is important in your case, especially with increasing levels. Do you think any of these changes would be something that you're interested in?
I think I could increase my activity. It would help me feel better when playing with my grandchildren, which would also increase my happiness. I am just concerned about fitting that into my daily schedule with work and everything else going on.
Can you tell me a little bit more about your concerns besides just um, fitting it into your lifestyle?
Uh, just the fact that I wake up so early already and get ready and drive to work. And when I get home, I have to cook dinner. I also have to drive to lunch every day. I don't know how I would fit that in between walking, but I could possibly fit a walk in another time.
I understand when you wake up early and being busy throughout the day, it can be hard to get more exercise in. Are there any opportunities for you to walk during lunch, or would you be able to go for a walk after dinner, possibly with your wife, instead of watching TV a couple of nights?
Yeah, I only have a short lunch break, and I don't want to get sweaty during lunch, but my wife and I could probably go for a 30-minute, maybe 45-minute walk after dinner.
I think that sounds like a great idea. Do you have anyone else in your family that could kind of hold you accountable for making sure you increase your activity?
My daughter and I talk almost daily, and I know she is concerned about me sitting too much. So I'm sure she would be willing to be accountable for me or make myself more accountable.
Um, so going for a 30-minute walk after dinner with your wife, I think sounds like a really great and reasonable plan. So you'd be willing to commit to that?
Yes, I would be willing to commit to that plan.
I think that sounds like a great place to start. Um, I also think following up with your primary health provider would be a great plan to keep track of your progress. Um, so the plan we came up with today includes going for a 30-minute walk with your wife and communicating your progress and your daughter keeping you accountable um, and communicating this with your primary health care provider. Do you have any questions for me?
No, not right now.
Okay, well, thank you for letting me talk with you.
All right, thank you as well.